What is descriptive research? About descriptive research. Not even challenging me to say, we just started talking about descriptive research. What do you mean? So we are supposed to get present what we talk about regarding research. Can you draw on me?
Yeah, this one. Oh, we should make a kabuala. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. You've done it.
We talked about the descriptive research, and we said that it refers to research or studies designed to obtain information about the current status, describing the status of phenomena in a particular situation. Studies which do not have control of them, and therefore not designed for testing hypothesis. The aim of descriptive research is just to describe what is existing in a particular situation. For example, we wanted to know the income status of people living in the area of D. So just want to describe what their income status. Then studies of this nature will be appropriate. We also said that these studies tend to vary from pure description to explaining phenomena in a particular situation. In explaining phenomena, you tend to have to surveys are designed to help you describe the situation, as well as maybe explain phenomena in a particular situation. This does not mean that you cannot do surveys in experimental research you can, but in most cases, surveys are designed for a particular situation. And conducting surveys, there are sample surveys, census surveys. Sample surveys are surveys that are designed to study the population, but instead of studying each and every element in that population or each and every person in that population, you only use a sample. So you have to draw a sample from such a population and study that sample. And from whatever you find from the sample, you infer to the population using various statistical procedures. Census, on the other hand, refers to a situation where you study each and every element in the population, each and every person in the population. Maybe those are referred to as the census surveys. For example, National Statistics Office, after every 4 years, conducts Malawi population census. What they are claiming there is that they want to study the whole population in Malawi, each and every person in Malawi is studied. So they conduct a census. Also in other cases, the same National Statistics Office conducts other studies like in demographic and health studies. But they don't study each and every person in Malawi. They will sample in a number of districts, people, and discuss describe their health status, describe their the demographic situation in those districts, and infer whatever they find from that to the whole Malawi. And the demographic and health studies will not be said to be census studies, they are studies, sample studies, what they have sampled. So, anytime you hear about census, it's a study which involves studying the entire population. Questions? What is the census? Just listed all the questions I gave and said, I have no idea. In this class, I said, you can't remember anything. So these questions are not funny, but they are supposed to help us to remember some of the things we talk about. So, yes, census, where you study the whole population. Sample, just as the name says, you are sampling from the population. Okay? So we talked about the descriptive survey, which are surveys aimed at investigating or trying to learn and describe what exist in a particular situation without trying to explain why that situation exists the way it exists. By the way, last time as we started talking about this, I had not yet sent them to you, but I'm presenting now. I hope you understand. Explanatory surveys, those are surveys which, apart from describing the situation in a particular scenario, you also try to explain why that situation is existing the way it is existing. So they go beyond just describing. They try to explain why particular variables in a situation occur the way they are occurring. Questions? So going back to my example, trying to learn the income status of people in area 15, and explanatory survey will actually try to also explain why the income status is the way it is. What are the explanations for low income? What are the explanations for high income? What is it that is making people be the way they are? Yes? So that's what explanatory surveys are all about. Questions? When you are talking about the survey, one issue you normally worry about is the type of variables you have to deal with. Some variables are easily observable, easily to measure, they don't involve so much obstruction. For example, the other time I was talking about the concept, this is the construct, and we use the example of the chair. So that when I use the term chair, one might be thinking of this type of a chair. Another person might be thinking about the sofa set as a chair, the table chair, the chair. So when you say chair, this is a class of many things grouped together. So there are some concepts which you use which tend to be broad in nature. And there are some concepts which you use and they are very direct. They don't involve so much abstraction. For example, if you are measuring age, you don't expect so much confusion among people. As long as they understand the meaning of age, they know I am 50 years old, I'm 20 years old, I'm 16 years old, and so on and so forth. But when you are asking people to talk about the knowledge, it includes a part of things in that attributes. It's a broad term. So when you are measuring broad terms, then you things which are direct, those are what the purpose stands for. It involves variables that are concrete, for example, number of people in the village, number of male-headed, just straightforward, simple, less challenging to measure. But when you are dealing with intangibles, then those become very complicated, and even when you are constructing the sort of tools for measuring such variables, you have to be very careful so that you are not found in a situation where you are measuring something which you think you're measuring that when you're measuring something else completely different. You might think you are measuring people's opinions when you are actually measuring attitudes. What are people's attitudes? What are people's opinions? Seem to be both, but there are some subtle differences. One, they are intangible terminologies. They cannot be measured directly. And in most cases, for such, you have to use the indirect ways of measuring such variables. And if you have a situation where you are dealing with that, you really have to be careful. The way you define the variables and the way you measure those variables. Last time I did talk about when we were discussing construction of tools in methodology. I talked about defining such terms in operational ways. A dictionary can give you a definition of a chair, which is general. If you go into the dictionary, what is a chair? You find that the definition they have given you there. We include a sofa set, we include a table chair, we include a desk chair, and so on and so forth. But if you are doing the study yourself, then you have to operationalize that terminology so that whoever reads what you are going to do knows exactly what you are going to do. They will not say, oh, I thought we were talking about a sofa set. You're talking about a desk chair. I thought we were talking about a chair you use on the dining table. This specific. So when you say, I want to measure knowledge of students in year 3 on the research methodology, their knowledge on the research methodology in year 3, make sure that you define knowledge in a way that everybody who reads understands. And the operational definition, you define it in terms of what you are going to do in order to measure that knowledge. I don't know whether I'm making sense. Questions? Now we got so silent. Whether you understood everything clearly, morning to ask questions, or you have not understood anything at all. And therefore I should repeat what I'm talking about. What is it? Repeat. Understood?
So, when you are doing surveys, which involve measurement of intangible variables, you need to use appropriate instruments where assessment of validity is done. You remember what we talked about validity? Anybody can remind me about validity? Because this is what we're talking about. Maybe what do we mean by validity? Yes, ma'am. No idea. Something is straightforward. Yes? She doesn't receive what it is. Good? You didn't say that. Okay, what is she has to find it. You? Well, that's the problem. Let's come and speak once there. What is it? Something that is true. Yes, sir. What is it? We said that when you are measuring something, you need to be sure that what you are measuring, the measurement you are taking, is a valid measure. You are not measuring something which is not supposed to be what you want to measure. And I normally use this example to illustrate. Very stupid because it is easy for you to follow. I was interested to assess the of students in this class. And I took a measuring scale to weigh the students. And I told myself that I'm measuring height. That's okay. Yeah. No, why? No, indeed, because it's not a valid instrument. The measuring scale is not an instrument for measuring height. So when you are constructing a questionnaire, when you are constructing questions in a questionnaire, you need to ask yourself whether those questions you are asking are going to give you what you want to do. You assume that this question I was asked is going to tell me the level of knowledge on this particular aspect, when in actual sense, that question is asking about people's opinion of that aspect, not knowledge. Okay? So, you need to assess validity of your instrument, and especially when you are dealing with the intangible variables. Because I was asking about the age, I think it's a straightforward question. Everybody will know I'm talking about my age. That if I was asking about the people's opinion about the University of New York. I could easily ask a question, we could be talking about people's attitude about know whether they are valid instruments or not. The other issue which you have to ask yourself is whether they are reliable instruments. We also talked about that. What is reliability? I also used a very simple, straightforward example last time in trying to describe yes, ma'am. You were not here. Okay? Those who were here last time. Reliability. Yes? Depending on, yeah? Depending on someone. Okay. Depending on other people. That's our challenge. What about your challenge?
The essence of concrete is how true is the
We are doing both of them, but they say two different things. It is the same way. Okay. There are situations where when you are trying to measure something, it can happen that there is something measured once gives you a measure, and you measure the same thing later on, 2 minutes later, it gives you a different measure. You measure the same thing the same time, it gives you a different measure. One example is if you take this very sensitive scale, which you put that scale on the desk, they have press like that. Depending on the wind pressure, even before you put any material on this scale, it can read something to you. 0.001. And then when the air pressure increases, it changes and goes to 0.002. Have you seen those situations? Huh? Measuring scale, yes. You have seen that?
Yeah, I see.
Actually, what happens is the air pressure is pushing on that scale. It is putting some force on that scale, and it is giving you some weight, as if there is some material weighing on that scale. And if there is no air pressure, then it goes to 0.000. Which means that if you put some material in that scale, a notebook, which is supposed to weigh 2 grams, at a time where there is also pressure pushing the scale, it will show 2.002 or 2.001. So if you keep on weighing that same notebook, you find that after a number of attempts, you have different weights for that thing. That is an aspect of unreliability. You cannot rely that together, because it is not giving you the exact measure of that model. So when we talk about reliability, we refer to the consistency of measuring what you are supposed to measure. If you were measuring my height and you take a measuring tape to measure my height, if you do that 10 times and you are doing it on me, all the 10 times you must record the same height. If the height changes, then your measuring instrument is not reliable. So when we're talking about reliability, we are referring to consistency in measuring what we want to measure. Are we together?
Yes.
Be sure you differentiate those technologies very well. If you don't, they'll give trouble to you. And when you are constructing a measuring instrument, such as a questionnaire, you are asking questions about a particular aspect. You also have to be worried whether that question you have asked will be responded in the same way if you ask that question a number of times. If I went to a household, a farming household, in the morning before they have gone to the garden, and I asked them about the particular aspect. If I go to the same household at lunch hour, when they have just come back from their garden, and I ask the same question, if I go in the evening to ask the same household the same issue, am I going to get the same answer or the same response? It is in 3 cases. In the morning, they are fresh, they are not tired. At lunch hour, they are very tired, they have just come back from their garden. In the evening, or somebody has made them angry, annoyed during the course of the day, and they have to respond to your question. Are they going to give you the response? If that is going to be an issue, you are ability. Are we together? So, when you are doing studies which involve measurement of intangible phenomena, be concerned about validity, be concerned about reliability. In terms of validity, one way of dealing with it is when you have constructed your questionnaire, take it to people who are supposed to be experts in the area of your interest and ask them, is this questionnaire asking what I'm supposed to ask? So you list down your research objectives, the ones you listed in chapter 1, or the research hypothesis, and then after you have constructed your questionnaire, bring those to an expert. Say, these are my research objectives, and this is the questionnaire. Is this questionnaire able to address these objectives? And the experts will very quickly pick out, no. In your objectives, you want to ask about opinion. This question is not asking about our opinion. They're asking something else. If the experts say, yes, you seem to be measuring what you want to measure, then you can say, my testimony is valid. But if they say no, then you will have to wait on their comments. To advise you, if you want this, then these are the sort of questions you should ask. Then you change accordingly. Then you can actually say, in terms of constructive validity, I think my instrument is valid. Okay? How do you deal with validity? How do you deal with validity when constructing validity? How about your neighbor? Sir, yourself. You are the neighbor to the corner.
I think they should put the exact information.
Always say, when you have constructed your instrument, take it to experts. Let you to say whether you are measuring what you are supposed to measure or not. Okay? For example, in here, there are those of you coming from community development, right? You know that your colleagues have a good idea of the concepts to deal with community development. Why not, after constructing your tool, pass it to some of your colleagues in your area, those in business to their colleagues in business, those in early childhood development, their colleagues in early childhood development. Am I asking the next question? Okay? And when we're talking about methodology, we said describing everything you've done. So in terms of operational definition, that is how we define and measuring opinions about this aspect. And I asked the 10 of my colleagues in the community development as to whether this aspect, I'm really measuring opinions of people on this particular aspect, and they confirm that yes, this is the right question. Then you are dealing with the issue. Okay? Why do those who are not accepting this beginning of them? Make sense? Okay. By the way, that's one of the reasons why you will be given supervisor to supervise your work. One of the things of doing the issue of validity is when you are constructing your questionnaire, don't just go out. Send it to your supervisor. Say, according to my proposal, is this the right questionnaire? Is this the right checklist? Am I asking the right questions on my questionnaire or my checklist? Whether you are going out to do observations, you must have a checklist of what things you are going to be observing. Yeah? Take that checklist to your supervisor and say, if I observe these things in this way, am I observing the things I want to achieve in my objectives? In terms of reliability, one way of dealing with that is what we call test, retest reliability. You take your questionnaire to a group of respondents. Let them respond to that questionnaire and you take your responses and keep them. After 2 or 3 days, take the same questionnaire to the same people. Let them respond and bring back the true sets of responses and see whether they are the same responses or they are changes. Because if they are changes, then the issue of reliability is the problem. If there are no changes, it means the instrument is the reliable. It is consistent to measure what it is supposed to measure. That's why you hear people talk about one of the reasons people talk about pilot testing is to test whether the instrument is reliable. So they take the questionnaire to the community, outside the community you want to conduct your study. Let's say, for example, we wanted to conduct a study about the people's income in area 15. So instead of taking the questionnaire to area 15, because we don't want to expose the questionnaire to them before the actual study, but you can take the questionnaire to area 18 and take a few people, let them respond to that questionnaire. And after a few more days, take it back to those people, let them respond and we'll see whether their responses are consistent. That is a measure of reliability. What do you mention? Yes. How do you test for validity? How do you test for validity? Yeah. Experts to assess whether what you are asking is what you should be asking. Okay. 5 minutes. After all, when I said 5 minutes, you still end up with 8 minutes. No.